Good morning, students. I am Manish Pandey from LPM Public School. Today I am going to explain you third chapter of class 7th, and that is the inexperienced host. Actually, the inexperienced host is written by H.G. Wells. So first of all, we will know about H.G. Wells. First of all, I will tell you something about H.G. Wells. His early science fiction novels earned him the title the father of science fiction. So he is also known as the father of science fiction. His stories are about science fiction, so his stories will be connected to science. You must have watched many science fiction movies. Science fiction shows you technology. Science fiction shows you power of science. How can science change a common man into Superman? Later, he wrote about the society and drawbacks of the society. So, in this story, adapted from the story of the inexperienced ghost by H.G. Wells, a man narrates his encounter with a ghost. Read on to find out what he experiences. Actually, a man went in the club. He came across there a ghost. So he is narrating a story about the ghost, what he saw about the ghost, and what experiences he had after meeting a ghost. Now, in this chapter, we have four characters. First, Ivan, Clayton, Ghost, and Sanderson. Actually, this story is narrated by the author H.G. Wells himself. Okay, now let's start. We met that Saturday at the club. So Clayton went to club on Saturday. Clayton had slept there overnight, so Clayton spent his night there. Okay, he slept overnight at the club. Clayton said, "Do you know, I was around here last night." So now Clayton is telling to his friends, "Do you know? Are you aware of it? I spent a night at the club and I was alone. Well, I caught a ghost." Now Clayton is telling to his friend, "I saw a ghost." "What a ghost? Did you say? Did you?" said Sanderson. "Where is it?" Sanderson was one of his friends. Now Sanderson is asking a question. "You saw a ghost? Where is the ghost? Where is the ghost? Tell me." And Ivan shouted, "Tell us all about it right now." Now Ivan was also a friend of Clayton. He joined the conversation and said to them, "Tell us all about it right now. Describe about the ghost. Where did you see the ghost?" "I don't think it will come again ever," said Clayton. Now Clayton is telling that, "I don't think he will come again. He has gone. Now he is nowhere." "You mean you did not keep it?" asked Sanderson. Now Sanderson asking question. "You saw a ghost and you did not keep the ghost. Why? Why you let him go?" We laughed. So now all the friends burst in a laughter. And Clarence looked offended. So offended means Offended means hurt someone's feeling. Okay. So Clayton was hurt. His feelings were hurt by the laughter of his friends because they were making fun. They were making fun what experiences Clayton was describing for them. You talk to it? Asked Vish. So Vish was also one of his friends. Now Vish is asking question. You talk to the ghost. You talk to the ghost. Now Clayton is replying, for an hour I saw him in the long passage. Now Clayton is telling that for 1 hour, I just saw him in the long passage. He was going through the long passage and I saw the ghost there. He was transparent. He was transparent. Transparent means transparent means that you can see through. We can see through the ghost. What behind is ghost? That can be easily visible. The ghost was transparent. Okay? The ghost can pass me through me, without touching me. Okay? That is the meaning of transparent. I could see the glimmer of the little window at the end. The glimmer means a weak light. Glimmer means a weak light that is not steady. Okay? So now Clayton is telling, I could see the glimmer of the little window at the end. So ghost was standing there, and I could see a faint light coming through the window. Okay, because the ghost was transparent. He looked as though he did not know what he was meant to do. Actually, the ghost was very confused and he did not know what to do. He did not know at all. So he was looking confused. He was lean, so he was very weak. He had a small head with scrubby hair, so his head was very small, and scrubby hair means very short hair. Her hair was not long. And narrow shoulders. So his shoulders were narrow, not wide because he was lean. So his shoulders were narrow. Now Clayton is describing about his appearance, what dress he was wearing. His short jacket had a turned down collar. So his collar was turned down. The trousers were a little frayed. Frayed means thread was coming out from the bottom of his trousers. I saw him as I came up. So when I went there, I saw him suddenly. I saw him, the ghost. I stopped dead at that. When I saw the ghost, I stopped suddenly. Taking him in, I was calling ghost to come inside my room. I was not a bit afraid, but after watching a ghost, after seeing a ghost, I was not a bit afraid. I was surprised, but I was not afraid and interested. I was very much interested to know about ghost, what ghost was doing there, why he should be there, what he is doing there. All those things I wanted to know about ghost. I suppose he realized I was there. Now, ghost came to know that somebody was there. So now Clarence is saying here, I guess he realized somebody was there. He turned. So now Ghost turned around, Ghost took around, and I saw the face of a young man. Now I can clearly see his face. The ghost was very young. It means he died very young. The ghost was very young. We stood and regarded one another. Actually, we stood face to face there and we saw each other's face. Then he turned round, drew himself back. Then the ghost took a full round and drew himself up. He went up, raised his arms, he just lifted his both arms and came towards me, and ghost went to the Clayton. His little jaw dropped and he emitted a pant drawn out bow. Actually, that ghost wanted to scare Clayton. When you want to scare anybody, boo. Boo sound is made. So that ghost made boo to scare Clayton. But in reply, Clayton also emitted boo. Okay, in reply. I said, nonsense. You don't belong here. What are you doing? So Clayton said to Ghost, this is not your place. This is club. What are you doing here? For what purpose you came here? He moved a little and said, so he came forward and said, Ghost came forward and said, I am a ghost. Now, Ghost is telling that I am a ghost. Then confused and awkward, I am haunting, he said. When he told to Clayton that I am a ghost, confused, and it was very clumsy. It was very clumsy feeling. I am haunting, he said. Ghost said to Clayton, I am a haunt. I came here haunting. That may be, but you can't haunt here. Now Clayton is telling to Ghost, okay, you may be haunting, but you should not come here because this place does not belong to you. So why did you come here? This is a club, okay? This is a club and people often stay here with children. So our little children come here with their parents and play here in the club. You should not come here. So why did you come here? Some poor little child could be scared out of habits. Now, if little children will see you, they will get scared. I suppose you did not think of that. Now, Clayton is asking him question. I guess you did not think about that children will see you and they will get scared. No sir, he said, I did not. Now Ghost is replying, yes sir, you are right. I did not think of that. Coming here was a mistake, I said in a tone of friendly superiority. Now I am just Clayton is revoking Ghost and telling him, your coming here is mistake. You did a very great mistake. You did mistake. You should not come here. If I were you, I could vanish right away. If I were you, if I were the ghost, I would vanish from this place. I will leave this place. I would leave this place right away. He looked embarrassed. Now, the ghost was perplexed. He was confused. He did not know what to do. The fact is that somehow I can't. Now the coach is telling something. He was trying to tell something to the Clayton. The fact is that somehow I can't. I cannot leave this place. Now Clayton is asking, you can't leave this place? No sir. Now boss is replying, no sir. I have been here since midnight. I came here since midnight. There is some little thing that has slipped me and I can't get back. So I forgot something and that is why I cannot go back from here. I have to stay here. I have to stay here a little longer. Come into my room and tell me more about it. Now Clayton is giving invitation to the ghost. Come with me. Come inside my room and tell me everything. What had happened to you? I said, and I tried to take him by arm. So Clayton tried to take the ghost by his arm, but as a puff of smoke, we cannot hold it in our hands, in our arms. So like that ghost was like a puff of smoke. When Clayton tried to grab his hand, there was nothing, like a puff of smoke. Here we are, I sat down. So they went inside the room and both of them sat down. In the chair in my room, in Clayton's room, in the chair, they sat down. Sit down and tell me all about. Now Clayton is telling the ghost, sit down and tell me all about it. Tell me what happened to you. Everything, tell me, describe me. He said he would prefer to split up and down the room if it was all the same to me. Now boss is telling to Clayton, I won't sit down. Rather I will prefer to fly or move quickly from one place to another. Flit means, what is the meaning of flit? Meaning of it is to fly or move quickly from one place to another. Okay. So now the ghost replied, I won't sit, but I would prefer to fly and move from one place to another. There he was semi-transparent. Now he was, we can see through the ghost. Clayton was able to see through the ghost. Ghost was semi-transparent, noiseless, so no noise was coming except for his ghost of a voice flitting to and fro in that nice clean and old bedroom. So in that very clean, very old and nice bedroom, no voice was coming and ghost was flying in the air from one place to another. You could see the gleam of the copper. You could see the gleam of the copper candlestick through him, and there he was telling me all about his life and that had recently ended on earth. So gleam means light and glare. So you could see the gleam of the copper candlestick through him, and there he was telling me all about his life and that had been ended on the earth. So, in that very clean, old, and noiseless bedroom, the ghost was telling the Clayton about how he was dead, how his life was ended recently. So, everything the ghost was explaining before the Clayton. And where are you now? I asked. Now, Clayton is asking you, where are you now? After that, where are you? Not in. Ghost replied, not in. Not. He did not give full reply. He said, not in. He was not clear at all. So, ghost was not clear with his facts. Okay. Whatever he was, the same two thing haunting a tremendous adventure. So whatever he was looking like he was only doing haunting, a tremendous adventure, and that was a very bold adventure for that ghost. And so he had come here, and that is why the ghost came here in this club. The mess he had made of haunting, actually mess, the meaning of mess is the state of having trouble. Mess means the state of having trouble. So the mess he had made of haunting had saddened him terribly. So what the ghost was doing made him sad. Okay, because of his work, host became sad. Host became sad. He had expected it to be fun. The host was thinking that it was nice work. It will be a fun and I will enjoy. But he could not enjoy and he became sad. I got up briskly. Now Clayton stood up from his seat very boldly. Don't brood on these things too much. Don't be, now Clayton is telling to host, don't be boastful. I don't like it. And don't beat about the bush. Come to the point. I said, you have got to pull yourself together and try. He did. So now Clayton is telling that you have got to pull yourself together and try. He did. So try once again to pull yourself. Okay, to pull together. A complicated series of gesture and movement with the hands. That is how he had come in and that's how he had to get out again. Now the host is making just shaking his head and shaking his hand and his body making gesture trying to get his movement right. He forgot how to get out after coming in. So with the gesture he was trying to make, he was trying to get his gesture correctly but was unable to do that. After a fearful time, he got his movements right and suddenly disappeared. So he tried for some time and he spent a horrible time to making gesture before Clayton. But after some time, he got his gesture clear. He got his gesture correctly. And he disappeared. He vanished from that place. It was tremendous. There we were, this thin ghost and I in that silent room. So now, Clayton is telling that it was a tremendous moment for me. I just talked to the host and after some time, after getting a movement, right, the ghost disappeared from there. Not a sound except our voices. So no sound was coming except very faint voice. Whose voices were there? Host and Platon. There was one candle on the dressing table. So one candle was there and that candle was alight. That was all. I can't, he said, I cannot now. I shall never, I will never tell you. And suddenly he sat down at the foot of the bed and began to sob. Now that host sat on the foot of the bed, at the corner of the bed, at the end of the bed, and began to sob. He started crying.